exposure. Transit.
Hey Transalp owners, can we agree that the factory headlight on the 2324 Transalp isn't that great? Well, I guarantee it's not as good as the one on this BMW that Carolyn rides. Well, agree or disagree, we can still be friends. But we can agree that they did change it for 2025, so there must have been something to that. Welcome back to the Grand Shamrock Tour. Well, my name is John, and ever since Carolyn got those exposure lights for her BMW, I've been jealous or envious or both. Well, neither one's good, and it's been eating me up. Well, that's why I was excited when Exposure, as part of their North American launch, sent me a set of their R3 lights for my Honda Transalp. All right, so this video is going to come in 3 parts. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did the install. Then I'm going to bring Carolyn in. She's going to show us how we program these lights with my new ezCAN Pure. And third, I'm going to take you for a ride and show you just how great these lights are, day and night. For this particular video, you're not going to need a lot of tools. You're going to need a 5mm. You're going to need 2 13mm wrenches to tie the lights down. And the nice thing about Exposure is they even include the 2 Torx bits, the T25 and T30 security bits that are on this particular mounting setup. So that's all I'm going to need, and maybe a screwdriver here or there, and a little bit of patience. I determined where I wanted my Exposure R3 lights, and they provided me with a great set of clamps and mounting kit that goes on my crash bars. And I determined that I want them right in line with my turn signals, and lacking a tape measure at hand, I just simply use an old technique we used to do and just take a zip tie, cut it to the length you want, make sure it's equidistant to the other side, and what do you know? That's exactly where I want them. The only thing you're going to need is a couple of 13mm spanners, because the guys at Exposure, they provided us with a T30 and a T25 security bit. So that's what we have for mounting here. So I got all that nice and secure. Grab a couple of 13mm spanners, and we are simply going to put them up and on. And they have provided us with some really high quality materials, the security bits, and this is a locking nut mechanism. So we'll just get these on. We'll still have a whole bunch of movement that we'll be able to do. All right, so as you can see, I've taken the plastic off the side of the Transalp, and it takes a little bit of time, but every time you do it, it gets a little bit faster. And I predetermined where I wanted my R3s to go. I kind of want them directly underneath the turn signal. The nice thing is Carolyn's going to program these auxiliary lights to shut off every time the turn signal comes on through that ezCAN system. So you can see what I've done here is I've predetermined my routing system, and I've simply ran the connections through the vent system, and then we're going to bring it up right here and plug it in with these great Tyco connectors. And that's going to give me, I don't think that's going to impede our air at all, our air intake at all. And then I'm going to run it down through, and what I did is I went ahead and opened up the connections for the vent lines and whatever. There's plenty of room on that vent line for this wire, and so we're going to run it like this. Now just make sure nothing's pinching, and when you get it right, it just snaps in and you'll feel it. We're going to run that through, and then what I did is I followed the vent line back, as far as I could, I had Carolyn shine a light through this side, and then you just follow the beam up with the connector, and it gets us out to here underneath the tank. After that, we have access to everything. So at this point, I'm not gonna put my plastic back on until I have turned on the system and made sure everything works. So let's go ahead and get that going. All right, the exposure R3s are pre-wired with a pigtail that fit that really great waterproof Tyco connection. I don't know if it's a C2 or whatever. And then this is the MT3, which is the kind of a universal fitting for like my CAN bus system, or if you have other lighting systems or other management systems, this is the most universal, and so they were wise in how they wired their leads. All right, on the left-hand side of the bike, we did the same routing up through the air intake, and we're gonna secure this once we're done and we've programmed it. We're gonna secure our connection right up here and zip tie it off so it doesn't rattle around in that box. I ran it through and above the HT lead, and I'm tying it off on the frame under the tank, and it got back to here where we have plenty of room. But at this point, I'm very comfortable in installing this. All right, we've elected to keep all of the plastic off the bike until we've tested everything and make sure we liked it. Then we'll secure a final on all of our lines. We've got the right auxiliary light and the left auxiliary light here positioned. And the nice thing about our ezCAN Pure system is they're color coded. Now I've kept the little connectors on there. They're just a little plug cap to protect everything. And we're going to name our right side circuit, our auxiliary light on the right hand side, the red line circuit, or R right, R red. So by doing that, we simply take the red connector and we're going to plug it in and snap. Blue is our opposite, so we are going to snap. We've already attached our ezCAN switch. Now I'm going to bring Carolyn into the mix because she's really the brains behind this operation, and she's going to go ahead and launch that ezCAN Pure diagnostics and software program. We're going to program our lights to operate on about 20% intensity for the daytime, and then when I hit my high beam, I want them to go full on. So she'll do that. She'll also be able to program the sides for opposite action. So if my turn signal is on, the light will go off, thereby enabling you to see me a little bit better. And that's the philosophy behind exposure lights. You see, they realize it's really important to be seen as well as it is to see. So we're gonna hook those up and let's see what they do. And Carolyn's gonna operate the turn signals and the high beams so we can see that everything is working. And audio get a little bit different right now. I do want to mention, as I get to the front of the bike, you're going to see the strobe effect. That's the camera that does that. The lights are not strobing at all, and the only thing they will is they'll shut off when she chooses the turn signals. But it's a little funky looking, but I'll tell you what, it's really bright. The lights are at a 20% intensity for daytime operation, but you can see how it really onboards. And Carolyn's now going to take my turn signals.
Right. And then we got left. And then stop. And then we got high beam. Sorry, it's very bright. It's crazy bright.
And this is the follow me home feature. So after we kill the engine, the lights will continue to light your path. So you got to way back into your bike barn or your house or whatever for 30 seconds, and then they will automatically shut off. Well, with Carolyn's help, that pretty much completes our exposure light install.
Well, wait, what about the night? You got to show us what they look like at night.
Well, I just need a couple hours to put all this plastic on and secure those wires, and yeah, I'll go for a ride tonight.
Okay.
Well, as you can see, this video had to take place in two parts. First part, how easy was that installation? Well, it was very easy. And I want to thank Exposure Lights for providing those lights that I put on the Transalp. We're really excited about them coming to America. I couldn't have done it without Hex Innovate and their ezCAN Pure system, because that accessory manager, that allows everything to connect. And speaking of connection, if it hadn't have been for Ted Porter at the Beemer shop, I wouldn't have found any of these guys, and they wouldn't have found us, and we wouldn't have made that connection. Ted Porter's Beemer shop in California, USA, they're really great, so make sure you look them up. Carolyn will put a link to all three in the description of this video. But after I got the lights installed and I went to take it for a ride, started to snow, wasn't very good, and I couldn't get the recording, I couldn't get good video. So that's what tonight's about. I have ridden with those exposure lights, and in 2 words, phenomenal. They are phenomenal. So I can't wait to show you, but it's 32 degrees outside right now. It's got about a 25-mile-an-hour wind, but it's not snowing, so I'm going to hook it up. I'm going to show you a couple of different perspectives tonight. I've got the Insta360 on the front of the bike. I've got a GoPro that I'm going to mount on my chin mount on my helmet so you can see what I'm seeing. And then I'm actually going to turn that GoPro around and let you see my expression of what I'm seeing in front of me on this very cold and brisk night. But let's get started. All right, this is the test. We're near the last light here. We had some deer out on the road, and there is the exposure lights on high beam. And unbelievable, my vision, how far I can see. Don't want to blind this guy coming up. You can kind of tell. You'll see with when the lights are on, how the wind is blowing these trees around. This is my normal low beam, and the high beam alone, I'll disable the lights at some point, but the high beam alone, you're not getting a lot. The Transalp is, in my opinion, is woefully underlit. I like the turn signals. I think they create a lot of visibility. Coming into a dark corner. 15 mile an hour, dark corner, let's light it up. Boom. Wow. Wow. Regular low beams. You can see we still got some daylight, but visibility is definitely challenging, but not with those. Holy cow. I absolutely love these lights. We've had a bunch of deer out tonight. It's that migratory time of year. They're going back and forth, and so we just have to be extra careful. And this just gives me a whole nother level of security, in my opinion, and in Exposure's opinion. It's important to be seen and to see where you're going. So, oh my goodness. No light. There's the factory Honda right there. And this is what Exposure does. Wow. Got some wind. Got a lot of wind. Pretty chilly. Now this is without even aiming the lights. This is just how much more visibility I'm given. Coming into a corner. Light it up. Holy cow. Whew. Well, listen, freezing cold, extreme high winds, and if I wasn't on a Transalp, I probably wouldn't have made it. But I have to tell you, those lights right there, those exposure lights, man, they made all the difference. On a night like tonight, especially with so many deer out and the wind taking me a lot of directions I wasn't intending to go, I'm really glad I had those exposure lights. Again, I want to thank everybody that made this video possible. Number one, the person holding the camera right now, Carolyn's going to put this all together, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Please go to these people, to their links that she'll put in the videos. Tell them what you think. Tell them what you think of this video. Please give us a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't like it, please give us a thumbs up. That's our way we'll know. On that note, I want you to travel safe, and I hope to see you out on the road.
Yesterday I was clever, wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself. Let go of who you are, become who you might be. Let your life become living poetry. You were born with wings, your heart knows the way. It's your road to walk, and yours alone. You'll be a lion.
Yeah. Kind of lights up the old Grand
You'll
Shamrock.
be the
Lights up the
deer.
entire ranch. Wow.
Be like a tree.